living in Seattle, Washington. Let me tell you about it. Okay, so now I'm living in Seattle, still going to Shoreline Community College, but well, needless to say, the grants ran out, the work study and all the school grants and all that shit ran out. So I had to just stick with my job at Stanley's Shoes in Northgate Mall. And so I dropped out of school. No big deal. Was living with Larry, and eventually I moved out of Larry's house and moved into my own apartment on Queen Anne Hill. Because that's where eventually everybody lives in Seattle, Queen Anne Hill, sometime in their life. So I lived in Queen Anne Hill, had my girlfriend, had my other friends, my dope fiend friends, working at Stanley's Shoes, and we were just having a great time. I had a wonderful time. I love Seattle. And anyway, I know it rains a lot, but that didn't bother me. It rains, I've lived in Seattle. So anyway, working at Northgate Mall, and I eventually got moved out of that apartment on Green End Hill, moved in with some friends of mine in Ballard, or I think that's where we live. Moved in a party house and stuff like that, and still working the job. And one day, I mean, I don't know how I stayed out of jail. I did. I stayed out of jail. I even got off parole. This is like a story of redemption. I don't even know what happened, but anyway, one day I was working at Stanley's Shoes, and I went over to my friend's house, the dope house, got loaded, got high, and I left. 2 minutes after I left, the police busted the house, found machine guns, guns, heroin, all this stuff. I missed it by this much. I got lucky. And another thing that got me lucky, because my parole officer didn't feel I needed to be in jail anymore. So he had my back. Like, that check bouncing thing I was telling you about? Was bouncing checks still, but I quit bouncing them because every store had a sign that said, don't take any checks from James Celeste. So I quit bouncing checks. But like, in those days, when you bounce a check, you owed the bank like $3. I owed the bank like 500 something dollars, something like that, seriously. My parole officer got a clean for me, got me a clean state. I don't know how he did it, but got a clean state, and I got off parole. He got me a clean slate. I'm off parole. So now I'm working at Stanley Shoes. I'm off parole. I'm living with my friends, and I decided to move in with my girlfriend. She got an apartment down near Green Lake, someplace. I don't know what it was. We've got an apartment, and we moved in, and life was going to be happily ever after. But there's this one guy at Stanley Shoes. He wanted to be a comedian, and he was not funny. And I was funny. I was always making people laugh. I was just funny. Anyway, one afternoon I was watching David Brenner on the Mike Douglas show. And I go to my girlfriend, you know something? I'm funny. I can do that. I can be a famous stand-up comedian. And that's when the seed was planted. So, that's what I'm telling you now. I will tell you more of this story as we go along. The seed was now planted for me to do stand-up comedy. Took a while for me to get there, but the seed was planted. And I eventually quit. I'll tell you this next episode, everything that happened. So please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and I will talk to you guys again real soon. Thank you so much for watching. This story is going to get better and better as we go along. I'll see you later.